What if I told you there are three types of people in this world? Would you listen? UAs are not fakes. I said it. What's going on, YouTube? It's a solution for the solution for kicks. Back with another video. Make sure you comment, like, subscribe, and tap that notification button so you know when I'm dropping another one of these things. This is part 2 of the rise of UA sneakers. And what I noticed is that there's been an explosion of UA sneaker videos, talks, and discussions, and people giving their take on it. And there's something that's going on called the reach back in sneaker YouTube. And the reach back is basically this. That's when a bigger name sneaker YouTube drops down into the murkier, smaller side of sneaker YouTube, and they pull topics because these things are trending. And shout out to the dude MK the Truth for his string of videos with pushing the UA market. Can't say push it. I don't want to misquote you, man. But I would like to say bringing more awareness to the sneaker UA side of things. Now, let's be clear. A lot of you have gone into the comments and you've asked questions, and I'm going to bring these things up and I'm going to talk about it as the original video plays in the background, because I said I wanted to address a lot of you in the comments about this as the video plays in the background. And I'm going to get this all set up and everything to view it by the top comments first. That's how we're going to do this, everyone. We're going to do it by the top comments first. So a week ago, this is Bully Below Retail. He said, facts. I have every pair of J's and Yeezys that I want because of the UA market. I will never take an L on a sneaker app again. Looking emojis, shocked emojis, laughing emojis. 21 likes for that comment. So there were some replies on there. And this is a very common reply, and I'm going to answer this right now. This person said, where do you get your UAs from? That is the top question on the video. I say in this video, do your research. Clearly, this is not the generation for research. And let me tell you something. I grew up going to the library, and they had something called the Dewey Decimal System that would probably just confuse a lot of this younger generation. We didn't have Google. The Dewey Decimal System was our Google, and we had to physically go and do the research, and we have stacks of books in front of us. And we basically found the information that we were looking for, and it was very satisfying. Not this generation. They want people to give it to them right now. No work involved. So you're going to see that throughout where people are asking for the UAs. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, I am not a proponent. I don't push UAs for sale or anything like that via copying, if you will, or hey, I'm going to sell you a pair. That's not happening with me at all. What I'm doing is bringing awareness on how all this stuff works. But if you want to know the purchasing and acquisition and what sites to go to, the sourcing and all that stuff, that's for you to find out. That's on the as I did the research for this video. I implore you to do the research if you decide to go that route, and that's on you. I'm not telling you to buy anything. If your curiosity was enlightened by this video and several other sneaker YouTubers who have decided to talk about this, and you say, you know something, I'm sick of it, I'm going to do this. I'm not paying X amount of dollars, screw a reseller, whatever it is. Hey, I don't care. I'm doing this now. I'm sick of taking the L's. So I'm not going to tell you in any video to go to a site, a particular site. What I'm going to tell you is use your research ability via the internet. So Curtis Smith said, well, I'm glad you did this, trying to tell people, just like the dude MK wants with these big companies have your trust, it's over for you, and they're busting you in the head. I mentioned MK the Truth. He goes far more deeper than I do, but he doesn't tell you where to go as well. Okay, he basically provides the enlightening process of how this is straight up a jig. It's a hustle. It's a ruse. And once you do your research and you find out how all this stuff, dude, you're gonna be pissed off, and you just be like, something, forget about it. This is one of the people I reply to as well. And I tend, if the comment is relevant, I'll actually give you a real reply. If the comment is just you trolling and you're trying to counter something and you have nothing and you just want me to go back and forth, I got a reply for you as well. And I encourage you to go back to the video and read. One person did do this. I know for a fact, I saw it. So there's 2 replies on this. And I said, and there you have it, laughing face emoji. Young Enoch put the face slap like I can't believe it. All right. So, oh, dang, I skipped one. Let me go back. There's a lot of comments on here. So Emmanuel Bay said, this is in regards to the bro, I'm glad you did this by telling people question. He said, retail players already overpriced and resellers are overpricing the overpriced. Dead emoji. Slick Savage said, facts. Busting you over the melon top. Laughing. Big Lou a week ago said, no wonder I've been seeing all these boutiques popping up everywhere in my city in Massachusetts. Uh-oh. If you go back in the video, you see me kind of walk off and I say boutiques. All right. Now, let's be clear. Once again, Stephen A. Voice for you. Let's be clear about something. I am not saying every boutique is engaging in the sourcing of UA sneakers. I'm saying there are boutiques out there engaging in the sourcing of UA sneakers. All right. So I'm going to leave that at that, because shout out to my dude Trouble, Get Kicks. He talked about this in a live that, well, not a live. He did a video recently about that. I'm not going to step on his toes because he went further into this. And, I said, something, when I do my response, I'm going to shout him out for that, because he answered something that I was going to answer, but he goes further with that question. So if you want to know a little bit more about what I said and I walked off the screen, he goes into that. So Aussie Soul Surfer, this is a month ago. UA factories have fulfilled the supply and demand needs. They made it an even playing field for consumers wanting to obtain highly sought sneakers. 38 likes on that. I liked it. That's true. That's why the resellers hate the fact that you actually have, you're cutting them out when you go this route. Okay, I told you all. Trouble said 85% of the boutiques have UAs, and I said that's very generous on his video. I would like to say the resellers, about 98% of your resellers, your big volume resellers, they're UAs. They're UAs. I'll leave it at that. The ones who, no, I won't leave it at that. I'll go back. The ones who have a smaller amount of inventory, a few sizes here and there, they're the ones that's going to the store and doing the footwork with the different accounts and stuff like that. But your people showing these massive amounts, aka the trophy room, which is blowing the doors off. If you don't believe what's going on, that trophy room sneaker is a good example of how they are playing with you. Okay? They are playing with you. Your plug's plug is some factory over there, whatever factory that may be, and their seller, they're the front person that's going to basically conduct the transaction for you. That's your plug for a lot of your resellers. I said it. Okay, you can hate me now, my Nas voice. Okay. So Jason Williams said, this whole time I'm worried about to get a pair of UA joints. Now I really don't care. You explained this very well, my guy. 12 likes on that. I said, thanks. Remember, it's your money. The people with opinions will do nothing for you. And you know, one thing I have said on this channel, and I'm talking to the younger sneakerheads out there who aspire to acquire limited and hype pairs, they're curious about a mid. You know, the mid videos, actually the mid series is my biggest series of videos on here. And I tell you, like, these people aren't going to do anything for you. All right, they're going to laugh and say, oh, you got a mid, or you got this and that. And my thing is, buy me a pair if you want me to have these so bad. And that usually shuts them up. You're not going to buy me anything. Anyone who has a problem with the sneakers in my collection, you don't like what I have, I got too many GRs, buy me a pair of sneakers. You won't do it. You won't. Okay? Buy me, matter of fact, let me be clear. Okay? Buy me a pair of limited sneakers that you want me to have. Even if it's a Yeezy. Okay? Buy them for me. And guess what? I'll leave these type of videos alone. But I guess I'll have to keep doing these videos, apparently, because we know that's not going to happen. So let's move along. Taylor Step. If you buy sneakers from a boutique, you're getting scammed unless they have the original receipt to the shoes. Taylor, I liked your comment, and I did reply to you. I said it's an extremely risky transactions. Most boutiques don't have contracts. Ding, 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 ding. The brands require a lot to secure a tier 1 listing. Most boutiques don't have that kind of capital to get those limited or in-demand pairs. That's fact. I'll leave it at that, because once again, there are people out here who can go a little bit further in that. And I'm not going to take away from their material and their content that they might put out there. I'm not doing that. I don't step on toes. But a receipt can be duplicated, people. I've seen it. Okay? You can get receipts if you want them. Anything. You can be copied. You stand still long enough. Paulie Medina, a month ago. This makes sense to an extent. Wouldn't you think after not being satisfied with so many factors, they would just end up sticking to the one they've been satisfied with? Why would they keep trying different factors, wasting resources? 3 likes. I even liked it. I said, man states they need multiple sources. That's why you have inconsistency with the same shoe. The Travis Scott ones are a perfect example of what happens when they have multiple factories. That's it. Now, this is the part where a lot of us who are having this UA discussion, we differ a little bit. Everybody is an expert when it comes to this part. Now, the problem is that to prove each other wrong, we would have to physically put out that information. And that's going to open a massive can of worms. Okay? And we just want you to be aware. This is not an investigation. That would basically become an investigation if we put all that out there. But like I said, I want you all to do the research so you have the knowledge and you don't fall into the trap of, oh, I was listening to the 500K sneaker YouTuber. I was listening to the 1 million subscriber sneaker YouTuber. I was listening to the 100K subscriber. He's got all those subscribers. He must be telling the truth. Oh my goodness. Let me tell you something. The late comedian George Carlin once said, a pack of stupid people is dangerous. Something along those lines. You know, never just misjudge a pack of stupid. They're very dangerous. Okay? And we saw that what happened at the Capitol. That's a good example of stupid people coming together. But in this case, I'm not going to call them stupid. I'm not going to call people subscribers stupid. I'm really calling them sheep. So in this case, in sneaker YouTube, a pack of sheep is very dangerous because they get to shape the narrative. Because say, I got more subscribers than you, Mr. 3.2K subscribers. You don't know what you're talking about. I'm going to listen to 500K subscribers because they got all the people. No, they're just more popular. All right. Think about this. Was the most popular person in your school the most intellectual, the smartest person? No. The smartest person typically was not very popular. Your valedictorian, salutatorian, magna cum laude, sigma cum laude, these weren't very popular people at all. Because for some reason, people champion stupidity. That's cool. We see it in rap music with these mumble rappers and all these ad-libs, the skirp, those idiots out there, you love them. They're popular. All right. But if you ask them to form 16 bars without all the ad libs and it makes sense without mumbling and slurring. The force, they can't do it. They can't do it. But anyway, back on the sneakers. Welcome to Magic. This was 3 weeks ago. One thing I learned after researching, thank you. Shout out to Welcome to Magic, because he said he actually did some researching. And he said is that UA is becoming almost like an umbrella term. You are right. You are right. I'm going to come back to that though. These are shoes that made like you described, but rejected and deemed UA. Other than that are being replicated, a certain blueprint, or those trying to imitate the others but lack the quality and just end up as bootleg fakes. Slow you down right there. The words are sort of synonymous, but there absolutely is a difference. Much respect for stating the fact. Definitely worth the service. I was with you into that. Okay? I was with you to the fakes. Now, look, you have to understand UA 98, 1 of 1, super perfect, AAA A, which are the worst pairs out there. You have to understand the quality, okay? The quality in how those shoes are made. Simply put, you got it. So what you said is somewhat true, and what you also said is not true. Okay, you kind of rode the fence and you jump off of it. So welcome to Max. I do appreciate you researching, but I want you to go a little deeper. Okay, I want you to go a little deeper. You're right. A lot of people, and this is what they're doing. They're trying to cloud your thought by saying UA is fake. There's no difference between the UA 1 of 1, super perfect, all that stuff. You know, if it's perfect, how can it be super? That's where it gets. Anyway, do your research, people. All right, Craig Wynn. This generation doesn't realize that the brick and mortar stores are here to make money and present the hype. This is where I used to get all my Jordans when my pops went to Korea on tour, when the starter brand was on and popping. I've known UA products are authentic for years. Thank you for clarifying this. The only thing left for you to do is research. This goes for clothes and food and everything we buy as consumers. Oh, Craig. I spent some time in South Korea. You're right. You're right. Okay? You are right. So people said facts, man. Another person said exactly. Brick and mortar stores, a bung of scumbags. I think he said bag of scumbags. He just misspelled it. Creating those ridiculous prices and don't make sense. Let me clear something up for you. Okay? Here's something a reseller will not do. And they're basically committing salesman purgatory if they do this. It's tasking themselves into salesman purgatory. If you look on the box of, let me be clear, of a pair of sneakers that were intended to be sold in the US, and it has the price on there. Let's take a Jordan 160, right? And you take that same shoe that's being sold in Canada, and it says 260, whatever the conversion is. All right. Let's take because I can actually say this. The cap and gown 11 sold for $320 Canadian dollars. I know that for a fact because that's how I got mine. All right. Canadian dollars, $320. Those, from what I know, because I've yet to see this anywhere else, those are on the two markets that actually have the manufacturer suggested retail price tab on it, that little perforated tab that you can pull off. Those are the only two places on this planet I've seen have their own price. And it says MSRP, manufacturer suggested retail price. They're saying this shoe should be sold at this price. Should be sold. Now, resellers aren't going to sell you the shoe for retail unless they just got to get rid of them. They got to mark them up because they're not going to make anything if they're backdooring the sneaker. Yes, people. Once you do your research, you're going to see something. You're going to notice that some of these UAs rival in price the retail pairs. And you still are going to get a markup because you got to pay for shipping. And shipping isn't that much, but you're still going to go over retail. It's basically going to wind up being the tax plus the shipping that you're going to wind up paying for. And you ask yourself, how bad do I want these shoes? Is that quality good enough for me? I would say if you dig a little deeper, you're probably going to save a little bit more money. Simply put, moving right along. Dropping real knowledge. Appreciate it. Bro, finally someone explains how UAs happen. Thank you. I've been new this and would have made a similar vid on my channel, but it got shut down years ago. And you're right. This was being suppressed. The whole channel clapping thing. Because you're kind of promoting UAs. And that's why I said, I'm not telling you to go buy anything. I'm telling you, do your research. And you make your decisions from there. Someone said, I hear everything you're saying, and I mostly agree, but mentally, I couldn't wear UA shoes. I've been collecting since UA shoes came looking fake. One time I bought a shoe on eBay, the toe box with cardboard, and it came from a China factory at Retro Hype. Look, all the shoes come from China and Vietnam. That doesn't make sense. But somebody got you if they did that. eBay. Some of you are starting to swear by eBay because StockX is embroiled in a lawsuit because they basically did not admit to being hacked and protecting your data. I don't know why you're using StockX. They didn't give a hoot about you and you still trust them with your money and product? Wow. Sheep. A fool and his money are easily separated. I'll leave it at that. But then you have eBay with the sniff test thing and the commercial slick marketing and all this stuff. And I told you all about the authentication process. That is a big racket. So you're paying for somebody's opinion. Shout out to my guy Trouble. That's all you're doing. In my opinion, these are real. In my opinion, these aren't real. Okay? Or, excuse me, unauthorized authentic. All right? Yeah, I'm playing with y'all right there. So they say I just got my first pair. Well, wait a minute. I've been doing my research on UA sneakers this past week. I completely being turned off to the shoe buying, thinking sneakers and exclusive drops were the only way to buy shoes, and being beat by bots every time. Laugh out loud. I just got my first pair Air Jordan 4 sales and can't wait. There were 3 replies on it. Somebody said, where from? All right. And somebody is abbreviating. That's slick. I know what you put on there, and I know the source that you're talking about. That was slick because you cannot put links on my channel. I disabled that. You can't do that. All right, because I'm not promoting anything. And they realized, you can't do that, so they condensed it using an acronym. So the next person said 2 things. 1, if you scan the barcode, UA sneakers usually says a large boutique. 2, more of a question, how in the bleep can you walk into a boutique and grab a pair of shoes that was limited, or are they able to get the shoe in every size? Somebody said underrated comments. Facts. I said you clearly see what's going on with some of these boutiques, but let me clear up the barcode thing of UA sneakers. I actually conducted this because I was curious, and I went out and I was able to scan some shoes, and I asked someone else. I said, did you get the same thing? You know what came up? The Nike store. The Nike store came up on that new barcode on every pair of UA sneakers that was scanned. I was like, oh, okay. So maybe that batch or whatever that source they came from, they're linking it back. The QR code is linking it back to the Nike store. So boutiques, maybe for the ones you got, but hey, 4 or 5 pairs said QR code. So we know that from our little research we did. Someone else said $58 seems like a somewhat reasonable price, man. When this stuff costs like $20 max, most of the time, heck, it may be even way lower. Yeah, I like this comment. I actually loved it. 16 people agreed. I said I believe $12 to $15 max is what I was told via a reliable source. Yes, probably $20, but 12 to 15 is what I was told. Someone said, I think so too. I believe the duties and custom tax is the most expensive part of the process. Is a good bit to get them over here in one piece. Great vid, man. Just let me tell you something about this. When you start doing a deeper dive and you get the research, you're going to see people write in some of these places that talk about this. Do you want the bubble wrap? Do you want the box, double box? Do you want the box? And all this thing is to drive down the cost of shipping, because you want to maximize your dollar when you're trying to acquire the shoe. Now, you don't wear the box, obviously, okay, with any shoe, whether it's retail or a pair you got from nefarious means. You go to SneakerCon, you may not get the box all the time. You may get the box if you're buying there from sellers there, which I wouldn't do. It's just markup city out there. It's amazing if, you know, these sellers make any money. I always told you, I'll discourage you from buying a brand new shoe from SneakerCon. That's just me. Because you're like, how did you get so many pairs? You know, how did you do that? All right, just rows and rows and rows, full size. Anyway, but yeah, you're trying to drive down the shipping costs by having the least amount of materials being shipped and having the shoe still protected. That's why. That's what's going over there. So the custom tax and the shipping, whether you're using EMS, DHL, US Postal, whatever it is, however you get them over there, the amounts vary and the times vary. So you know, a lot of people that dabble in the UA market use DHL, but that doesn't mean if you see a DHL box, somebody has shoes, that they are fakes or a UA sneaker. It means that they actually got a pair. It could mean, they could have got a pair retail from a store, a contract holding store in Europe somewhere, because they use DHL, international shipping is faster. So kill that. There's a 100K or so sneaker YouTube out there that put that out there. That's very ignorant. So I cleared that out. All right. So no one said, man, I had some guy that had some UAs, and he said in the description they were UAs. In my opinion, I think that's better than people that sell fakes as reals. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you said that, because that was basically the genesis of this video. Me seeing that social media post. Okay, I'm going to say it was on Facebook, where the guy clearly said these are UAs. All right, and I've replied to this person. I say he wasn't trying to deceive anyone. There's a market for everything, and it's a shame that Armando Sig, maybe I'm messing your name up, but Armando, all right, I'm talking to you, guy. I'm gonna shout you out. You should probably have the most likes of any comment on here, okay? Because what that guy did that triggered my video was he told people, you don't have to buy these. This is an option. There's a market for everything. Anything can be sold. We know that. And anything can be purchased. Simply put, there's a market for everything, unfortunately. Horrible things. We know this. We watch the news. So when you give people the options, they're saying, you know something? I don't want to spend $250. I'd much rather spend $150. That's that. But if you are a UA seller, you are a terrible person. Okay? You're a terrible person. I would like to say the UA market should really be for personal use. All right? That's it. Don't sell those. No. Don't do it. Could you do it? Obviously, yeah. We know that these sneakers get leaked into the ecosystem, into the resale ecosystem, because they're just becoming that good. And some of them are very good. You know, I've seen people get finessed, like flat out. They thought they knew what they were looking at, and come to find out the shoe was not retail. I'll say that. It was UA, it was not retail. So proceed at your own risk, you know. Facts. I appreciate you educating the world, brother. 6 people on this one. I said thank you. Yeah, he hit the money on this. 100. He did the handshake thing. Subbies and homies. Appreciate you, man. Oh, my guy E-Money Shoes. Great information and breakdown, critical thinking. Dropped a lot of knowledge. And Adam Robillard, he said, this is the best content on this issue I've seen. Thanks, bro. I said, you're welcome. I have a follow-up to this dropping soon. And here we are. All right. Someone laughed at my Stephen A. Smith reference. Now let's be clear. Fire content, you speaking facts. Brandon J, this was interesting. He said, I looked at it like this. If you can cop from Ross, TJ Maxx, Marshalls, Burlington Coat Factory, and etc., you can clearly and certainly purchase UAs. I liked it. 7 people, well, I loved it. 7 people gave it a thumbs up. I said, you do have a point. Someone said, exactly what you said, bro. A regular overstock or don't get approved, get bought by boutiques and etc. So I explained the third tier market, where the brands, they have their outlet stores and they have your third tier buyers, your sellers, excuse me, which is your Marshalls, your TJ Maxx. The shoe is out of circulation, is out of season, whatever it is. There's some flaws and imperfection. They still want to make a profit, so they sell them in bulk, in bundles, in lots, and say, hey, and it's based upon the regions of the country where people tend to buy those shoes. And you can look this up, people. In my part of the country, this is Air Max country. We're always going to see a lot of Air Max in Ross. I know this because I see a lot of Air Max in Ross. That's just the way it works. If there's a market for Air Force Ones, which you normally never see in a Marshalls, anything like that, because that is a coveted shoe, no matter the colorway is. All right. Well, you see a variation of. You do see SFs, Air Force One special fields. You do see those pop up in there from time to time because they just saturated. And that's the thing. You have a general release and it's a massive amount of them. They still want to make their profit. Okay. Well, the batch was sitting in the warehouse and they begin to yellow and they're like, oh, we can still make some money off of it, but they aren't quite good enough for our outlets. But we know if people see these at a Marshall at a markdown, they will buy them.